that's fair.
Whoops.
Did you guys hear that
We're not
beep just
using
now?
No, you mean like.
Where the fuck did that come from? So strange.
I think it was your cat.
Do we have
That's a
sensors?
studio cat.
Yeah.
Our studio cat comes in and goes beep. So we have to keep it out of here.
Run it over with meows. That'd be pretty great.
Yeah. You just have to torment it until it hisses or something.
Speaking of Torment, they're coming out with a new Torment game.
Oh my god, Torment!
know, right?
It releases on February 28th.
So what is torment?
It's just a Baldur's Gate ripoff.
Okay, I've never heard of torment.
Well, it's not a ripoff. Black Isle was involved with it
I don't know
initially
about it.
somehow, but
It was a ripoff.
Black
Even
Isle,
they
that's
ri-
who I was
if they
thinking of,
rip
not
themselves off.
BioWare.
well, BioWare is owned
Published,
by
I
Black Isle.
think.
BioWare owns Black Isle.
But Black Isle
And-
developed it.
They actually, well, yeah, Black Isle developed it, but
That-
the
I was
problem is
thinking
like by
BioWare.
Baldur's Gate 2, Black Isle was owned by
German IPA?
BioWare, and BioWare had actually like stripped the studio and
Yeah.
stuff like that quite a bit. So
With Torment, Planescape Torment. Yeah, it definitely wasn't.
Planescape. Never heard of that either.
that's the whole like D&D tie-in there.
I gotcha.
I don't know how to make it.
Actually, I don't think the new title even says Planescape in front.
No,
of it.
it's in a different universe.
Yeah, they probably had to do that so they didn't have to pay fucking whoever the
Yeah.
hell owns it. Wizards
Royalties.
of the Coast.
Watsy.
Wizards owns the Baldur's Gate universe?
No, they own.
They own
Dungeons
everything
and
Dungeons
well, yeah,
and
that's
Dragons
Baldur's
universe.
Gate too. Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
So Baldur's
Forgotten
Gate
Realms
was-
basically is what it falls under.
TSR owns the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Could they
the
even
world
make
of
a D&D
Planescape.
game or a D&D based game without using one of the like realms from it
No,
or the maps?
you cannot use the D&D system without going through Watsy.
Yeah. Is that what people? That's what all the hip kids call it.
Watsy, yeah.
Watsy.
I thought it was Taco
I
or
thought so.
something.
But that's why
I
there's
thought
like
that's
a
what you got when you roll 5 dice on the same.
Watsy.
Watsy.
Watsy. Yeah. But that's why there's like 1.5 billion different D&D clones, is because no one wants to go fucking pay Wizards of the Coast for their licensing bullshit.
And they're like extremely protective of it, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
They charge, because they charge through the ass.
I could see that. Knowing Magic Online.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh my god,
Like
what a money making venture for them.
That shouldn't even be fucking legal.
I
Yeah.
haven't played them. Is it as it should be?
Are you
Yes.
kidding
yes.
me? Have you seen it at all? It's,
I've seen a little bit of it, but I haven't played
It's
it
an
enough to.
atrocity. It's fucking.
You have
it
to
like-
pay for everything.
Is it microtransaction fucking?
No,
It's
it's
not
literally
microtransaction.
like-
You pay for your fucking
Yeah,
digital
you pay for
cards.
virtual packs.
Yeah.
So it's microtransactions.
I remember it came out in what, like,
Fucking like
04?
04. So,
yeah.
that's what
I
was
remember
gonna
when
say.
it came out in 04, and they
Yeah.
were charging the same price to buy a pack online.
They still are, and the economy is just completely fucked because it's completely readily available for anyone to play drafts. So the amount of people that actually play drafts and sealed events is like skyrocketing because you don't have to sit down in a card shop. You can just sit at your computer and play any game that you want to with Magic for like a fucking sealed event or a draft. So the new like sets that come out are just flooding the like third party shit where you sell your own cards and stuff.
Yeah.
So all the card prices just completely plummet. So
And
you
they
can
probably. Is there player-to-player sales?
there are, but that's what I'm saying.
Do they take a percentage?
They don't. But the thing is, you can only sell them for tickets, which you can use to buy more stuff on Magic Online.
Oh, so there's no way for you to cash in and get money out. You only put
there
money
is,
in.
but it's worse than it's like so much of an investment that you can make money, but it's like there's such a small percentage of players that are able to. In order to make money on that game, you have to cash out 4 cards of every single card in the set, including all of the different land arts, and then you can cash them out for paper. So
through legitimate channels.
through Wizards of the Coast
Gotcha.
themselves.
Yeah.
You cash out 4x of every single card in the set, and then they send you that in paper because it consumes them on your Magic of the Online library.
paper, like real paper cards.
Yeah,
Now,
but you can't.
what about cards that are out of print?
No, see, it's only for like the sets that they're
Active.
doing. Yeah, because you can't get the full sets of the ones that are out of print.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I knew they had released like
You
the
can't-
really rare.
Well, you can,
cards, like-
but it's more expensive now to do it.
I knew they had
They
released
have
Black
Legacy.
Lotus.
They
and
have
stuff.
Legacy, yeah. They have
Yeah.
Vintage too. You can play Vintage on Magic Online, And you can see, like, that's the split though. If you actually wanted to play vintage for like a fraction of the cost, you can play it online. And you can play
Okay.
way more vintage games than you ever could because there are more people trying to play vintage than any. If you go to a card shop and you're like, I have a vintage deck and I want to play this, like,
Right.
you know, fucking Squirrel's Nest, like,
But
infinite
see,
combo, then no one's going to be able to play against you
That
legitimately.
kind of boils down to the same fucking thing, like the same way arcades went. Nobody wants to. Everybody's fucking antisocial and doesn't want to go out and support their local card shops or whatever and
But it's just so
talk
much.
to real people. They want to sit on the internet and
But this is also
jerk
like.
off.
It's not so much that, it's like the availability is really strong for like the sealed and drafts, because drafts are going on 24/7. You can, and they actually made it even more accessible in the recent patch and lowered the price by like $2. So you pay $12 instead of $14 to play a draft, but you can draft your deck, save your deck, and then come back whenever you want
So
and play against
ultimately-
people in different pods.
I see where this is going. It leads us all back around full circle to Poe, because you don't have to pay to play Poe. There's no fucking microtransactions
You have to pay. You
every 5
have to
seconds.
pay to play Magic Online, though.
Yeah. It's not Poe. At least brings back the old school gaming where there's no microtransactions.
Exactly.
Up your
The only
ass.
ones are the cosmetic ones in WoW, which is a great.
I didn't even realize they had added those. I haven't
They-
played
no,
Poe
that's-
since,
that's
like,
their
They've
entire-
always been there. That's how they
that's
make
their
their money.
entire,
Oh,
like,
really?
That's their
Yeah.
revenue
Oh,
source,
that's
is
great.
because they want to keep it free forever. Is like their main staple of the game is they never want to charge to actually have the game be played. They want it to be free for everyone who wants to play it for as long as they have it out. The money that they generate is from mostly supporter packs, probably. That's like a big thing. Before a new expansion comes out, they do like these supporter packs where you pay a lot of money. It's not cheap. It's like the minimum ones are like $40, but you get $35 in store credit to buy microtransactions plus all of the extra supporter pack stuff. So like if you're trying to pay money for Poe, it's one of the most cost-effective things to get microtransactions, but it still doesn't give you any
Yeah, you get,
edge,
like-
which I think is right.
They
Because
ship you like posters and shirts and shit like
yeah,
that
but
too.
also like on top of everything that you get, they give you 90% of what you pay for it just back in straight store credit that you can pay for any other microtransactions.
Yeah, and the microtransactions don't have any effect on the game at all either.
Yeah, exactly. They're just cosmetic.
Mhm.
So
That's great.
That's
because
pretty
those
cool.
fucking games where you just pay to win games are just terrible.
but yeah, Magic Online is a racket though. I'm just
Yes.
saying.
I wish that it would be banned.
Well, to be fair, I mean, paying absorbent amounts of money for small pieces of paper is kind of a racket in itself. They were fixing the card economy before they started Magic Online. Like a couple years before they started that
No,
is when
but-
they started really fixing the.
I think the main thing to see between that is that like Wizards of the Coast don't make anything off of third-party sales, regardless of anything. They sell their packs, they sell their boosters.
And that's respectable. you know.
Exactly, that's cool. But the thing between that and Magic Online is that they are making money off of everything that they do, which is like, you know, people are paying for the convenience factor of it rather than.
I imagine it's because they have the
Playing.
tools to actually kill that kind of thing off. So, are there any non-legitimate channels for player-to-player transactions?
Oh no, not at all. Like
so-
because it's just not worth it. Everything else is like, I mean, it's still
Well-
mediated on there where the card economy is crashed so hard that even if you want to make like making a deck in paper versus making a deck on Magic Online that you can play way more often because everyone's trying to play it on Magic Online anyway. You don't
Right.
have to go to a place to play it. The cost is like half of what you would pay to make a paper deck, and you can play it literally whenever you want for $2.
So you think people are just using the legitimate channels because it's so convenient?
Well,
I think so, but also they make it more cost effective to do that because
I'm just curious why like there isn't a CS:GO mentality here, where like, or even like Dota, where it's just like, oh, sell the skins, right? Like, fucking, I got all these skins, I'm gonna sell them, make all the money.
no,
you
it's
know?
just because the market is so flooded that there's no even chance for that because you can't sell them for lower than what you can buy them from people on the line because you sell them for tickets, which are Magic Online
No,
currency,
okay,
which is
so-
what people are wanting to use anyway. So it's like
Gotcha.
they cornered the market by making everything tradable for Magic Online currency, which if you're playing the game, you're already going to want to be spending, like, reinvesting in those resources. If you sell them for cash, you're not going to get anything on your returns because you can literally like there's so many people playing and getting all the cards at the same time that their price is like a fifth of what they are in paper.
Gotcha.
So there's just no.
There's no limitations on how many are produced either, right?
There's no-
Exactly.
there's no
no,
rarity.
there's absolutely none, and that's the thing is because so many more people play it. There's
I kind of
no
wonder if they
limitations.
move to an
and it's just
on-demand
huge.
printing method. But my real question is, could you still sell your account? I know that was a big problem back when pay-to-win games started. You know, people selling their RuneScape accounts on eBay and stuff, and they had to try and ban those people.
Yeah,
from doing
no,
it.
and you could like World of Warcraft is the
Did you
worst
do
for
that?
that too. As far as selling your account for money, like you could just make more money than you invest into the game by like tenfold if you actually
Right.
know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they've like stopped that a little bit.
But that plays
It's still
into-
not that great. But in Magic Online, you can't reasonably sell your account for money because they have pseudo money on there in the form of tickets, and the amount and like the cost of the cards is so low for even the good cards on there that there's just no like opportunity cost for people to try to like black market their accounts and stuff. I mean, you could, but you'd be making such little money that if you had to start over again and try to reinvest, like sell another account, you're just not making as much of a turnover.
So this has also probably discouraged people from buying good cards and hoarding them for a couple of years because they know they're going to go up in value, right?
Unless it's the same thing as in paper. Like if you have a really, really good read on what is going to be good ahead of time, which is difficult, but like Stoneforge Mystic, for example, that's one that it was an innocuous card at the time that no one really had much faith in, but it raised in price by like 120 times what it was after it moved out of its block, just because the cards that were printed afterwards made it so much stronger. So yeah, if you're savvy on it and you know how to invest into cards that you think will be big movers because they're powerful but they haven't just like found their place yet, then you could make money.
Is this paper or is this MGO?
It's either, but it's like there's the better opportunity cost is paper. Like if you're actually
Right.
going to be trying to turn a profit, you'd play it in paper.
Because there's a rarity factor there is what it comes down to.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many printed. There's,
So in
yeah, it's just reading the economy, and there's more cards in paper than there are.
so in Magic Online, is there zero rarity factor? It's like
No,
all cards are available at all times.
Well, see, there is a rarity factor, but there's so many people playing the drafts, which open up 3 packs
Yeah, they
per
keep
person.
the cards that they open in
Yeah,
the draft.
Gotcha.
so there are drafts that just happen literally constantly. Like if you want to play a draft, the longest time you have to wait in queue is like 3 minutes. Maybe,
Also,
if
the
you're
economy,
first person in
It's still
queue.
a fixed economy because they know exactly how many exist at any given time.
But so many more exist in the Magic Online realm than in the paper
So
realm,
what it
and
sounds
you
like-
don't have to buy them from an online source because, well, like it's like everyone puts them up on the marketplace. There aren't people actually trying to hold on to them to do other things. It's just like you open one and you're like, this is worth 3 tickets. I'm gonna put it on the classifieds and just sell it immediately.
Still a little confused.
The economy on Moto is global too. You're not trading amongst your friends in your
Exactly.
local community.
It's
is
seriously
what lowers the
everything
value.
that
Right.
Everything that opens is fair game to trade to anyone in the community. So it drives the cost down immensely.
Fucking racket. Should be illegal. Fuck Wizards of the Coast.
I honestly, I can't believe that online poker gambling is illegal in pretty much 90-some% of the U.S.
Yeah.
I think there's only 3 states it's legal in, but certain pay-to-win games and shit like that are legal.
you
And
got
it just
in there?
blows me away what they declare like a skill game versus a gambling game.
That's
It's not really.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's not really what it is. It's about your
Try it.
Yeah.
whatever the prize is.
Want to try this one?
Yeah.
It's a mix of a couple
Your prize in
of
the video game generally isn't cash. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I know
So-
exactly what you mean. It's a skill game is they've got the skill game
Well,
classifications.
it's not even-
They got the
It's not even skill
gambling
game
game
classifications. It's just like what is gambling and what is not.
Yeah. But
Poker is
for
quite literally
example-
just gambling, but like any free to play game is not gambling because you have no actual. You're not betting and you're not making a return.
yeah,
You're just dumping money into this thing to get better at the game. Sure, and that's really fucking shitty, but you never really get anything back.
but for example, all right, after they banned online poker gambling in the U.S., they decided the World Poker Tour Online decided they were going to become a subscription-based service.
Okay.
You pay a flat monthly fee, and during each month, there's one big prize at the end of the month that you can play in a tournament for. And
Right.
so everybody's paying the same amount. It's not a gambling thing. It's purely a skill game at that point. Whereas there's video games that do the exact same thing. You pay a monthly fee or you pay a single entry fee, and there's a single cash reward at the end. Whereas
I don't know of any.
I had the perfect example a couple weeks ago, and I forgot now. But
I've never heard of a game doing that.
there's also non-monetary rewards where they send you,
Yeah.
prizes and stuff. In which case, there's also poker sites that have been banned from doing that too, because they are an outright gambling game.
Right.
And under this format, these games are still banned in pretty much all the U.S., which is kind of nonsense. But and I'm looking at video games that are really pushing the line on those things, and it's really beginning to make me wonder: are they going to start regulating these?
The problem is it's not. Well, absolutely, that's going to happen with what we've seen with fucking CS:GO and all that shit. Absolutely, that's going to end up happening if they keep fucking pushing that envelope any further. It's going to happen. But you
So
mean
really,
like
it's a matter of time.
It absolutely
A matter of time before we start seeing video game regulations.
Yeah.
Well, the shit
For
that you
pay
win in
to win.
CS:GO could be worth an insane amount that they could actually, it's like the federal government could look into taxing.
Well, there's that, but I think
But
the way
there's
they
no way to
dodge
get
it.
cash out of Steam.
That's what I'm saying. is I
You
think-
only get Steam store credit, which can only be spent on Steam games.
Why
there
couldn't
are-
they tax Steam on that then?
What's that?
Why couldn't they tax Steam on
I
that
know.
then?
There's so many complications there,
that's
especially
only one
since they
half of it,
already.
That's only one half of the situation, though. There's the Steam avenue, which is usually the less profitable one. There's a lot of unofficial channels for which to do that in.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it's how they dodge it so hard is because it's like you're not dealing with Steam, so there's no one to really chase down. Someone might chase down these other companies, but then again, it's probably not on the federal government's radar either
No, yeah.
to
they're-
actually,
the government's always however many years behind the private sector in
Right.
technology. You look at how long it took for them to even understand
makes
that the
them-
internet is a thing.
I feel like it makes it a lot easier to tax them on that because it's just a single target.
Yeah.
You
Oh
just
yeah.
look
definitely.
at Steam and look at their
Well, do you remember
incomes.
when Steam started requiring? They're like, look, we need to require this information for tax purposes if you're exceeding the certain amount. They started that probably 6 or 7 years ago.
I don't
wanna
think I've
say-
used Steam enough to know anything about it.
I think that came with the Dota 2 stuff. I wouldn't know.
Not that I know of. Like, I mean, there's a difference between like making items for it too, because they made it open so that anyone can make an item and put it on the workshop.
But they had the
Like,
workshop monetization process where you actually literally go and make.
Yeah,
an
and they
item.
take a cut out of that too.
Right, but I
It's
think
like-
that's when they started the tax thing. I think it's kind of rolled in.
See,
all at the
I've
same
never-
time.
It started
I've never
before
seen
trading cards, but I think it was also in part related to the trading card thing.
I've never seen
Um,
anything with tax related to Steam though.
There was a point where they started asking for social security numbers for tax purposes.
That must
if
be
you,
like-
if you spent over a certain
Yeah,
amount
that
of
must
money.
be a shitload of money.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it
got to
was.
be like over $1,000 or something.
I can't remember, but then there was also if you spend a certain amount of money on a regular basis, you have to have a credit card affiliated with your account, or simply because they
Okay,
know
I
they
can
can
see
trace
that,
they
yeah.
can trace the funds somehow.
See, you know,
But
like I
I
have
know-
to claim
I've-
my Steam purchases on my taxes too because they're non-taxed.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like, you can get around it, but you gotta like claim them. But even if you don't pay the taxes, but I've never heard of them actually doing
I-
a tax thing for it.
Might
I
have
didn't
also
know
been
that
the same
existed.
time the Fed started hitting PayPal real hard, because now PayPal loves to request social security numbers and stuff.
I didn't know
and
that.
Yeah, they are. Well, if you upgrade your account, it's mandatory, but they'll also lock your funds occasionally and require your social security number before they'll unlock them,
That's pretty crazy.
because the federal government requires them to provide that information nowadays for tax purposes.
I haven't had that happen before.
I know I haven't had it
either.
happen, but
I've
when
never
I,
heard of that.
I've heard it pretty frequently happening with lower level accounts if you're making over like $200 a month on eBay or something. But if you upgrade, I know you have to do it because I had to do it. It's standard protocol for
I mean,
that.
I had to give them. I think I had to give them my social anyway, but that's because I linked my bank account with it.
Yeah.
So it was like a verification.
That's the thing is, yeah, for the verification process, there's so many steps now that there's a money trail pretty much for anyone that's using a PayPal account.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
Dogecoin.
Yeah, Doge, our official sponsor, Dogecoin.
Invest in DemonBits.
Yes. As the 1 to a million millionth transaction to Bitcoin.
1 trillionth.
Yeah, something like that. I'll farm Dogecoins.
1 demon bit.
Yes.
Is that how we measure girth segments?
Yes.
That's why I measure my girth segments. In DemonBits.
Well, it was an educational segment on gambling and video games.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
so
way
do
too
it.
in depth in that segment, didn't we?
Oh wait,
Next
I didn't even
segment is
talk about...
we'll teach you how to do taxes for your business.
No, I didn't even talk about how affordable World of Warcraft is if you know how to play it, and you just get fucking mad money off of playing that game.
I also know how to do that. You play World of Warcraft for one day, find out how fucking awful it is, and then download EVE Online, and then play it for the rest of your life.
Oh,
And
that's
then
yeah,
it becomes your
exactly.
life.
Then you die a happy death.
You do what my roommate
In your
did,
stasis pod.
and you...
What?
In your stasis pod,
Yes.
as your brain's interlinked to the
You mean your
game.
captain's quarters?
Yeah, your captain's quarters.
Kept in your
I
quarters.
don't know. Either way, it's that place with lube and.
There's
I had a
plenty of
roommate
lube in
that
the
made
captain's quarters.
$2,400 off of World of Warcraft selling accounts.
Oh, yeah. Is that vanilla days?
No, this
Legion?
was up until Wrath of the Lich King. Third expansion.
Who the fuck?
I
Who
don't
the
understand.
fuck?
Dude, when I quit, I could have sold my account for so much, but I'm a retard.
What I don't get is why do these companies even care about third-party sales of accounts?
Because they could
'Cause
be making
An
more.
obnoxious
by-
amount of
do that.
money.
Yeah, but if they're not going to be selling these accounts, then why not just let the players sell their accounts? I mean, I can understand them complaining about it affecting the gameplay experience.
No,
but
it's because
when
if-
it's a game where you just grind for 100 hours, there's no gameplay experience.
it's because if those people that were buying the accounts had to buy their own accounts and then get up to that time, they'd be making so much money off of the months that they
Yeah.
had to spend investing into it
It's
and
the-
the initial investment in buying the base
Okay.
game plus 4 expansions.
That makes sense with
and
the
every
monthly,
single person.
monthly
But
transaction
also, it's
fees,
like,
yeah.
dude. So
Subscription
That's the
fees,
key
sorry.
factor
I
to
had
any MMO is the investment of time.
But if the subscription fees don't exist, which most MMOs don't anymore, it's pay to win.
To a certain point.
But those ones don't invest as much against like the people that are gold mining or doing other shit. So I had a moment of like fucking weakness where I was like, World of Warcraft, maybe that'd be fun to play again. And I looked at it. 2 expansions have came out since then. If I wanted to play for 1 month, I would have had to pay $100 to buy both of the expansions and then 1 month of playing.
Yep.
And I was like, I have been out of this game for 2 years, and I'd have to pay $100 to pay for 1 month of playing. And they ruined it by making a fucking like freemium phone Fallout Shelter game mandatory for progression. No,
Really?
thanks. Yeah.
What?
When was this?
World of Warcraft released a new thing that was like fucking you make your own little bunker and you have to upgrade it and then send your grunts out to do their daily work.
Is this
to-
even related to World of Warcraft?
No, but you have to download the phone app and you have to play off of your phone to make your grunts go and collect your bullshit to actually like gain any resources in the World of Warcraft world. And it just fucking killed me when I saw that. No one wants to have to do that if you and it's like end game progression shit too. Like you have to do it to stay relevant in the game. Is you have to fucking play this bullshit Fallout Shelter freemium like
Let me
dumb
guess.
shit.
So let me guess. The
Who
reward
wants
for
to do it?
reward for playing this mobile game is like rare items and shit, right?
Resources in the game that you can use to actually like progress your character, which is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Who wants to invest in that as like a mandatory
Have
thing?
they
if you're
introduced
going to
something
be-
other than just like the gold and silver and all that shit?
Yeah, it's more
Well,
like
every MMO has like 4 different currencies now.
Right, but
It's,
no, it's
yeah.
not just
with
like
World of Warcraft, and I know this just from experience and witnessing it over the years, is that
You're gonna
that
have to
kind
get
of
on
currency
this, Corbin,
becomes
eventually.
less and
You're
less
the
important.
MMO
Oh no,
expert
actually,
here.
that's very, very relevant because they recently put up a EVE Online type of monetary system where you can pay for your subscription in World of Warcraft Gold.
Gotcha.
So
So yeah,
Cross-game
I think that
transaction.
I think
if you play enough, you can pay for your next month.
I think what they're trying to do is patch up how useless their fucking currency is, though.
Exactly, but at the same time, now they've made it so like there are other things you have to invest in time wise to get your character to be the top by like downloading their app and giving them traffic on all these other sources.
I could see that.
So this
Make it
concerns
so
me a little
that
bit.
in order to be a top tier player, you have to just like do even more beyond the game, which is stupid. But that was like a couple months after they released the using in-game currency to pay for your subscription, which one of my friends who played it at that time, he was in like one of the top rating guilds, and all he would do was just like play, make a shitload of money, and then he would have 3 people in his guild pay him for their subscriptions per month because he would make enough for all 4 of them at the same time.
Gotcha.
He would charge them $10 as opposed to the $15 fee from Blizzard, and he would make $30 a month playing World of Warcraft while prolonging his own account, and he was just having fun the entire time.
So what was he doing?
He was just like resource gathering pretty much. I mean, he played the game a lot. He'd grind, he'd raid with his group, which is the main reason to play is to beat. He was like he was a top tier progression guild. He was like honestly number 1 on his realm for his race and class. So he had pretty much everything you could ask for what he was doing. So in his free time when he wanted to play the game, he'd just do very lucrative, like the highest opportunity, like money, in-game currency gaining things, like doing engineering and herbalism and like just gaining insane amounts of resources and then selling them, and then using that gold that he got, he would just buy 4 people in his guilds a free month and they'd pay him for it.
Gotcha.
Do you know how much Plex is now in Eve?
It's always been about a couple billion, I feel like. I would say it's between 5 and 10 billion.
Is that how much for a month?
I think it was 7 last time I looked. I was just wondering. I didn't know if it changed since the last time I played. Just a few years ago.
I mean, it's all based on market value with that game, but
yeah.
So it very well may have. It probably does now with their new, their new pricing model, whatever they're doing. Pay for the month and train up 2 characters or whatever.
Oh yeah. The clone.
Yep. Just so fucking tempting.
I couldn't believe that Tyler earned a Plex in 20 days.
That's
on
bullshit.
his first character.
Oh, fuck him.
He played for over 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I did that shit and got nowhere. Such bullshit.
Well, he joined a corporation and played with some like Indian guys.
Oh, yep. No, I played solo.
Oh, we joined 3 corporations. One had a 3-hour interview.
Yeah, Tell me about that one.
Yeah. That game is not a game.
It's not. It's a job.
Yes, it is definitely a job. It is a
Life
full-time job.
Yes.
I think the average person can make more selling World of Warcraft accounts than playing Eve.
Oh, absolutely.
But the non-average person.
The non-average person can make
$45,000
like $30,000 a day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
By collecting bounties or whatever the fuck.
By making fucking corporations filled with like dummy accounts that you can take all the stock out of and fuck over your shareholders and then cash out.
So at which point are like real life laws gonna start falling into play here?
That was a big thing after someone made $80,000 in Eve by cashing out their in-game currency. They made pretty much a Ponzi scheme where they had all these people like generate more followers, and then those followers generated more followers, and
So pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. They had that going, but his like top tier of the corporation was filled by himself and different accounts. So it made the shareholders think that they had a bigger share of what they were investing into, but in the end, it was all him just holding the reins. So it was a monetary investment by him to
So that like the top 2 levels of this pyramid were just this one
Was
guy.
one guy.
Yeah.
And then all of
Gotcha.
the people under him that would go forth and recruit more people and got everyone to put their money into this corporation. And then he had the lion's share of it, so he just pulled all the money out of it and cashed out.
So, have they implemented anything to prevent this
Oh,
from happening? Like,
I'm sure they
I don't
have.
know. That was a couple of years. That was like 5 years ago. That was the big thing that like blew EVE Online wide open, where they were like, someone realized that they could just fuck over our like economy and just manipulate.
I still
that
feel like
shit and
there's
make
plenty
money.
of ways to make actual money in that game.
There
Just because
are,
of how
but,
fucking
but I mean,
there's
making,
no rules.
making
Yeah.
actual money and making like $80,000 for playing a video
Yeah.
game. That was like just the
antithesis.
be all end all of
Yeah.
fucking making money off of a game.
Yeah.
Outside of professional esports.
I
Dota
can't make
2.
$80,000 doing an actual job.
Yeah.
That's fucking bullshit.
I can't.
That's
make
why
any
you should
money
just
doing
start
it
playing
actually.
Eve. Like you said, Eve is your job.
I'm not that much of a scumbag though.
If you're good at
Besides,
something,
this
don't
is
do it for
not the
free.
deal.
exactly.
It's fucking.
No, once you play Eve for like a week, it becomes your norm.
Yeah, but I mean, how long would you have to actually play before you could reasonably start making money on it?
It doesn't matter.
Months.
I mean, like
Eve's
Tyler always
life.
talks about the
So,
money he
what's
makes
the
on his
gameplay
cards,
of
and I
Elite
just think to
Dangerous
myself,
like?
I'm like, that's like 10 hours.
I tried to watch
You
some,
know,
but
that's
I
like
haven't
1 hour
seen
labor
anything
for
happen.
what you've spent 100 hours doing.
It's just an open-ended space simulator.
Okay.
You fly around a spaceship and do whatever you want.
Are we talking Elite Dangerous
Sounds
now?
fucking awesome. Yeah, I've tried to watch like footage of what it does, what it is, but I don't know what it's about.
I think
It's
the
about
Elite-
ships. It's
I think their
space.
DLC thing is kind of bullshit.
I'm just like legitimately curious about it.
That's the one they always show like really cool
Don't
space
know
footage of, right? Like
what
people
happens in
flying like towards planets and shit all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You can do like
The one that looks like Star Citizen but isn't Star Citizen?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
What's the combat like though?
amazing.
Yeah, it's extremely fun. I was just bounty hunting before I came over here. I was in an asteroid belt of a gas giant with one other guy, and we were just like scanning all the ships around for bounties they have on them, then blowing the shit out of them.
How do you how do you do combat though? Is it like cooldowns or is it like just kind of kiting around
Well,
people or?
It depends on the weapons that you get.
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
can attack anyone you want, anytime you want, but you'll gain a bounty on yourself and get in trouble if they aren't already wanted.
Okay.
It's pretty fucking skill oriented because the
Yeah.
flying in that game is insane.
How does the combat play out though? Because that's the main thing.
It's real time.
I've tried to watch it, and
It's
I've
just
only
the
seen
fucking-
people just like shooting to different star systems. I've never actually seen someone do fucking battle with someone else.
It's a fucking dogfight.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
pretty much just a dogfight like in Arma or Battlefield, except
Or fucking Jane's Combat
So
Simulator.
self-positioning or what?
That difficult, eh?
Well, you have 3 different like stats you can put you have like an allocated amount of ship power that you can put into.
Okay.
It's engine, weapons, and shield or something like that. Yeah. And depending on the like phase of combat that you're in, you have to regulate all 3 of those stats at the same time, and you have a limited number of like whatever power units they use. I don't know if they use bolts or whatever, but it doesn't matter.
How do you regulate them though? Like what's
You just press
the-
buttons, and
Okay.
then
so you like
it
shift
ta- it
them-
takes
you shift
power-
the
yeah,
power
yeah,
to-
it takes power from one system and adds it to another. So if you need to go faster, you take power away from your shields or
Shields,
your
yeah.
weapons, and
That actually sounds like a really great way of doing that without like making it feel complex, but not the control wise not being super
Right.
complex.
well, it just varies like so many times throughout even one dogfight.
As far as like
Mhm.
guns and shit go, are there any like offensive cooldowns that you would want to use or like save and utilize at like a certain point in the battle? Are there?
yeah, you have 2 types of weapons. I think it's thermal and kinetics. So like lasers and then bullets. And you also have torpedoes and shit. So, and certain things are weak and strong against certain things. Like shields are strong against thermal, Not strong against thermal. Strong against kinetic.
Okay.
And weak against thermal. So you want to hit them with your beam lasers first. And after that drops, you can use your torpedoes and stuff.
Okay. For like hull damage.
Yeah.
All right. That's
Then
sweet.
You can do sub-targets on their hull. So their power plant or their shields or weapons and
Yeah,
stuff.
you can disable certain aspects of their ship.
Okay.
It's extremely dynamic.
Yeah, that
Like-
seems pretty sweet because that's the one thing that I haven't seen in the game yet, and I really like combat and like an MMO.
Well, even the fucking flying around and doing nothing in that game is awesome. Just because it's
So
just
that's
like,
nothing like I've ever played. So I was just trying to cling to
Yeah.
anything that I know.
well, even the
necessarily.
flying around is like completely skill based.
That's cool. I did not realize that from watching people.
It's
play
very
it.
much a flight simulator.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I thought it was just like set course for.
No, it's not
Planet
like
X,
Eve.
and then you
It's
just-
not like Eve.
Yeah.
Everything
Well,
that
I
your
don't
ship
know anything
does.
about Eve, so
Well, Eve is kind of like set course.
I was just
and
watching
then-
people play it, and they just probably played it really well. So I didn't
Yeah.
notice that it was skill based, and I was just like, okay, so they're just flying from, the Horse Nebula. to
Everything that
fucking
your ship does at
X
every single
Sub-Zero.
moment of time is something that you're pressing on your controller.
Okay, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So there is zero downtime. You're literally pressing buttons every
Yes.
second of the
That's
game.
awesome.
Excellent.
That makes it seem way more enjoyable than what I was understanding it to be, because I just saw people like doing, the like export runs where they're just going.
Yeah,
through
landing,
different
you have to,
systems and
like,
stuff and just like, okay,
Slow
whatever.
way down, mass lock your ship, pull out your landing gear, press all these fucking buttons to like regulate your throttle control to land and shit.
I think definitely a lot of it is lost on watching someone play the game. It's like
So
Probably.
is this
it's
another
completely
like
fucking
non-controller
lost.
game?
I play with a controller.
You have to play a controller.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, for joysticks.
Oh, I
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, you mean like okay, I gotcha.
Somehow Brent plays
Pitch
with
and
mouse and
yaw.
keyboard.
or you do it the man's way. You build your own fucking interface. You get a control deck. It's got flip levers on
Yes,
it.
I want that. Corbin and I were looking at that the first time we bought the game.
For the longest time, I've wanted to
That
build
sounds
one.
amazing.
So if you're in, I am in.
I am totally in with that.
Because I will.
We're doing that.
We'll get like 8 Arduinos in that bitch, and it'll take up
Yes.
every USB port on your PC, and it'll be like
Yes.
200 switches.
Yes.
Fuck your
I'm down
corporation.
for that. It'll be the biggest DigiKey order I've ever made.
We could use that in our what the fuck is that game where you get together and you play in the starship?
Yeah.
Crab battle.
Oh, and you mean Artemis?
Artemis, yeah.
Fuck
we
your
apply that to
Arduino
Artemis?
bullshit.
I don't know if we could. Artemis
Yeah.
seems like it's very stripped
That's what
down.
I'm saying.
Okay. Simply, it's more a social-based game than a
I think that's
controls-based game.
Yeah, I think that's more the point of Artemis. We still need to play that.
That's disappointing because if you're gonna link 5 computers for 5 crewmen
That's
to play a game, you should all have buttons to push for tasks.
kind of why I'm a little leery to play it.
Mhm.
That's kind of what a lot of the inspiration of Starbridge is about too. Is like I just want to have like something where it's a happy medium, but
I still got all the Arduino bullshit installed on my laptop too, so I'm totally down for it.
I think I blew up one of those controllers, but I had 2 around here. I have one that has flashable atmels, so if we get extra chips, I can just keep flashing them, fucking stick it on a breadboard, flash it.
Well, they're
stick it
cheap
on
as
a breadboard.
shit.
You know, I
so.
have to
Yeah.
wonder. Artemis might be open source, right? Because it's free to play.
I
It's
don't
completely
think
free,
so.
right?
No, you have to
No.
pay for it.
Oh, you do have to pay for it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
it's
thought it
cheap
was
as
a free
shit,
game.
but no.
My bad. Damn, that'd be great if you could mod it to make it more complex, control-wise.
I would like to, or we just work on Starbridge. Fuck it.
You mean our next Dying Fetus cover?
Are you what? When? Are we or when? What are you asking?
You said work on Starbridge, and I said, you mean our next Dying Fetus
Oh,
cover?
yeah, yep. Sorry.
That can be the soundtrack for Starbridge.
Bitch,
whore, cunt, slut, bitch.
perfect space soundtrack.
Yep.
Fuck your corporate BS. I'm all about the punk rock pizza rolls base.
Great job.
Yeah, everything's going back to the playing games while listening to music segment.
Is
Yeah.
it?
The unknown one. It's deleted scenes.
That was a great time. You remember when that thing happened? That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I remember when I watched The Thing for the first time. There's some great special effects.
Yeah.
You lost me.
My favorite part about when I watched The Thing the first time was Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in it.
Sounds like you watched them in the wrong order. That was like a yes.
No, I'm just fucking with you. My favorite part about Thing was the Arctic.
All that snow.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Noah?
We all know Noah loves Kurt Russell.
I love Kurt Russell.
All that mullet, beautiful mullet.
Yes. Kurt Russell is great.
Antithesis of manly 80s man.
Snake Plissken is the ultimate badass.
Yes. Yes, he is.
This is very true.
His fucking eye patch all day long.
Yeah. And he fucking surfed on a Arctic fault wave in Escape from LA. Or a tectonic fault wave.
Escape from what? I'm sorry, what?
LA.
Escape from what?
LA.
What's LA?
The second one.
Escape from LA?
Yeah.
You've never
What?
watched that?
What is that?
Escape from LA
What
is the
is that?
second fucking series in that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck you, sir.
Did you PTSD it all out or something?
Yes.
I like that movie, so fuck you.
It's New York or nothing. Fuck off.
I remember I didn't know there were two of them, and I
I think
watched one, and I saw part of the second one, and I was really confused.
I think I might actually like Escape from LA more than Escape from New York, simply because it was worse.
It was quite bad.
It was terrible. But that was a movie series, or I can't really call it a series. It's not something they expected to make a sequel to. But it was so bad that it's like, that's what I expected the show to be about.
Yeah. And Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
I thought they were both pretty good.
Contrarian.
I can enjoy a movie, but I can recognize a bad movie when it's a bad movie, and it's a bad movie.
Not sure I can.
God damn it, I need to watch more John Carpenter movies right now.
Yep. Multi-topical.
Hey, this is the John Carpenter segment, official DemonBit segment.
Awesome.
Segment.
Sponsored by John Carpenter.
Aliens.
Can you tell we're from the Middle East, eh? Segment. This is the DemonBit segment.
The Middle East?
Middle East.
Is that like the Middle East of Canada? Or
Yes.
From Alberta?
Vancouver.
Vancouver, Iraq.
Yes. They have
My
the
phone
best
thinks I'm from
marijuana.
Erbil, Iraq.
Yeah, it does.
That's probably good.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Kitty.
Kitty.
Cat
The
doesn't
weather.
like Shit.
Erbil.
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 Erbil. Erbil.
Erbil.
Erbil, Texas, right?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Iraq. Because it's like 100 billion degrees at all times.
So 39 degrees Fahrenheit.
Is there an Erbil,
Celsius.
Texas?
I don't know, but I can't imagine that. I'm going to change your settings. Fuck you. Erbil, Iraq. Wow. Learn something new every day.
That's what the fucking thing showed when I bought that phone.
Where'd you buy it from?
The Verizon store in town.
Oh, well, that's not concerning at all.
Erbil, Iraq.
Yeah.
Erbil, Iraq. David Bergerac.
Interesting.
David Bergerac.
Bergeron.
David Bergerac.
Yeah, it's also not 7:52 p.m. in Texas.
I have never known a single phone to default to Iraq for the weather thing.
Or 7:52 a.m. in Texas.
It is tomorrow.
That was an interesting fact. My phone thinks I'm in Iraq.
You are in Iraq.
We
You
are
can
in
change
Iraq.
that. Those are just add cities too, but the fact that it has an Iraqi city on there as default is really weird because it doesn't come with anything default. It's auto sets your current location as
There's
default.
two on there.
And also, this
There's
is
a Michigan
Donald
one
Trump's
and there's
America.
a Toronto, Canada one, and then there's that one.
That's really
the
weird.
Toronto,
That is
Canada
weird.
one came
It's
up
more
when
than
I was
two of
in
them.
like the top of the UP. Randomly, it just like showed up, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, you're
It's
like
still
6
saved in
hours
there.
away from there.
yeah.
You're in the same time zone. Doesn't matter.
You have it set up to like automatically. Maybe it's a newer version of that app.
I've never touched any of the fucking settings.
That's really weird, man.
It's also never updated since I bought it. 'cause
Maybe
I
it's from
maxed
the
out
future
fucking
and it
thing.
knows where you're going to go in a year.
Because my version of that weather app never adds cities automatically. You have to add them manually.
Oh, I never
Except
even looked at
for
it. I don't
when
know
you first
how.
get the phone, and it'll add your
Add
current
it
location.
manually.
So
Fuck smartphones.
What makes them so fucking smart, eh?
Yeah, make flip phones great again.
Yep.
I don't know,
Agreed.
having the internet on my touch is pretty nice. I can play World of Warcraft on my phone.
Yeah, being able to watch porn anywhere
That's
you
true
want.
now.
Yeah.
I can play my freemium World of Warcraft.
You need to get those Google glasses and just watch porn on them all the time.
Yeah. You can eye down. Stoplight. See all its true colors.
Red light district.
Yes.
Roxanne!
You don't have to put on a red light.
I think it's time for some sponsors.
The police are here.
Natural Ice.
The 80s.
The 90s.
And now.
We're sponsored by the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
We talked about Kraftwerk and stuff. I don't know if we
I
did.
don't know if we talked about it. We
Okay.
We acknowledge their existence.
Sponsored by the 70s, too.
briefly mentioned.
Cars.
Yeah. Fear Factory.
Gary Newman.
We're not ready for that yet.
Next
I think
podcast.
Gary Newman will do a intro for us.
Probably.
Bet you
That's
Alex
nice
Jones
of
will.
Yeah. I'm trapped in the DemonBit studio.
Breaking the conditioning.
I'm trapped in the FEMA DemonBit studio.
DemonBit.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, he wouldn't take the Lord's name in vain, would he?
Lizard Man.
I haven't seen Rush Limbaugh in days.
Jesus was a lizard man.
So thank you to all of our Lizard Men watchers.
Thank you to Alex Jones.
He has provided some pretty good comedy.
Yes.
That's the great thing about extremist politicians or extremist political acts. If you take them with a grain of salt and laugh at them, they're pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Radical Islamic terrorism.
Well, you know, you watch those videos where they cut off the heads. And it's pretty fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
You know any more of this one?
Yeah. What the fuck have we just walked into?
I know, right? I didn't start it.
Glenn Beck Mathematics.
Whoa.
I just started crying for no reason.